Hey, what's up YouTube? My name's Cameron Doherty here with another tech video. Now, today I'm gonna do an unboxing of two Anker power cables. And then I'm also gonna talk a little bit about overall theory about how I manage my chargers and how I think you should too. So without further ado, I'm just gonna jump right in and start unboxing these and discuss a little bit about what I mean when I say how I do charging. And so the first thing is that I really believe in the fact that if you charge your phone overnight, you're gonna be doing some long-term damage to your device. And there's some things over time now recently that have been improving that and preventing that damage compared to olden days. So your iPhone is gonna look at patterns and only charge to a certain percentage when it has a consistent basis. So if you're charging it every night, it should be charging it to 80% and then waiting. I don't always want to trust that, and there's also, smarter power adapters and things like that with power delivery. There's a lot of different things, but overall, I've just decided I think it's easier to not plug it in every night and leave it plugged in. Instead, what I like to do is have a charger where I spend most of my day. So now that fast charging is so prevalent on so many devices and you can get a lot of juice in not a lot of time, it's much easier for me to just plug it in when I need power. And that means having chargers placed in convenient locations for where I spend my day. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but let's take a look at the first cable we've got here. So this is the Powerline II from Anker. This is a braided cable. And we've got a little, are you happy or are you not happy? And it leads to how you can share or how you can get support. That's a pretty clever thing. I feel like I may have seen that in a previous Anker box. I think that's a standard for them, but that is, I like that, that's cute. So this is a braided cable. This is an iPhone cable, USB-C to Lightning cable. And I think this is 2 meters. So this is 6 feet. It has a nice, as I drop it down here, a nice little Velcro cable strap here, which is pretty cool. So if you need to secure it to something, you can use that directly rather than having to supply your own. But this is a very nice cable. I like this a lot. So if you're not aware of a braided cable, this is a much more durable material than this is, what comes in the box here for an iPhone for USB-C to Lightning. If you've had an iPhone for a while, if you've used other cables like this, you know that eventually as you bend them enough times, you're gonna get breaks in this sort of rubber material. And that can lead to some exposed wires, which obviously is not great for safety. And also it can just it can hurt you sometimes because it will wind up a little sharp. So not great. These are a much more durable material. They're gonna hold up to wear and tear over time much better. So to me, it makes a lot more of a good investment. And also this one in particular has this very thick rubber housing at the end that they quoted in their marketing materials. I don't know if it'll have it on here, but it's something like 30,000 bends before it's gonna break or something along those lines. So I'm hoping that this is a cable that I will be able to use for quite a long time and not have to keep replacing like the cheap Apple cables and wind up creating more and more e-waste. So this is an iPhone cable. 6 feet long is, I believe, twice the normal length for an iPhone cable. And I find these to be super useful. So I have a couple similar cables already. Yeah, so it looks like about half. This might be more like 4 feet, but I have a few of these already, and there's several places that I like to keep them. So obviously if you do like to charge at night, that's fine. And so you might want one by your bedside. And getting a longer cable can be super nice because then you can lay down in bed and have your phone accessible to you before you're headed to sleep or first thing when you wake up. So we can all have those terrible habits of looking at social media before going to bed or first thing in the morning or checking work emails or whatever your vice may be. But so many people do that, so it's a perfect place to have one there. My favorite place to charge is definitely at my desk. So I spend most of the time during the week at my desk, either working or playing games or doing different things, editing videos. And so that's where I charge most often. So I generally go to sleep with around 50% battery or so, and then as needed during the day, I'll plug in and charge it up to about 80% or so, and then let it keep draining down until it needs more juice. So it's more of, to me, a balancing act of keeping it in between that like kind of 20 to 80% range. And then obviously if I know I'm going to be going out all day, or if I'm going to be away, I'll charge it up to 100% to make sure that I'm going to have plenty of battery to make it through an evening or a day out with friends or whatever it may be. But so there's really, there's a lot of things to think about in sort of like simplifying your life in my mind when it comes to charging your phone. And so I think we've already talked about having one at your bedside, having one by your desk. We also love to have one by the couch, because there's nothing worse than wanting to spend a lazy day on the couch on a Saturday afternoon and then realizing that your phone's gonna die and you have to go plug it in. So we have one, similarly, a 6-foot cable like this that's long enough to reach from the wall comfortably to our couch. And it allows us to make sure that we have a charge there as needed. Once again, just wherever you're gonna be, have a charger ready. This might include having one in the kitchen. If you're using your phone for recipes, things like that, that's another key place. And then also in the car. So if you don't have a built-in car charger, like a Tesla or something like that, if you have a cigarette adapter or a USB, then it's always good to have an ability to charge your phone on the go. Personally, we use a wireless charging phone mount that charges it while also mounting it for use as a GPS, things like that. But making sure that you have enough juice on the go will really make your life more simple and easier as you go. And then also keep in mind your guests. So if you host people, if you have a guest bedroom, we always like to keep chargers of some kind. Depending on the guests, you might need just a standard Qi wireless charger or something like that to make it universal, or an iPhone charger might work if you've got friends that are all in the Apple ecosystem. But that's another important place to make sure that you're looking after them. So let's take a look at the other one here. So this is a little bit different cable. And so this one is the Powerline III Flow. And so this is actually a USB-C to USB-C cable. So this is for charging, for our case, it's for charging our MacBook. And so similarly, I hate lugging around a MacBook charger from room to room, always losing it, trying to figure out where it is. Our MacBook generally stays at home. We don't take it out a lot. So we don't generally have it in a bag with its charger. And because these MacBooks last so darn long, you don't need to charge them that often. So then you don't have it, sitting around where you're used to it being in a single place. And so we constantly have that problem. So similarly, we're trying to build out some solid cables for our MacBook. And so we're gonna have one that sits at the couch because we commonly use the laptop on the couch. Probably one at the desk, and then one that sort of floats around the bedroom or travel or whatever it may be. And so that's where this comes in. So this one is a little bit different. This actually is similar to, here is the one that comes with the device. This is a much more rigid plastic, like kind of, it's rubberized, but it's stiff. This is a very flexible and soft rubber. So it's, again, designed to be pretty durable. It's got a slightly different top to it there, so might not be 100% as durable as this one. But I wanted to take a look at what this one was like, and I really like the feel of it. It's also got a cable tie here that is a nice rubber, so rather than the Velcro one that the iPhone one came with, this one's a little bit different. But this is also a 6-foot cable, USB-C to USB-C, so this will be perfect for charging our MacBook Air. And yeah, and this will really be a step in the right direction for simplifying our lives and kind of making sure our devices are always charged and reducing that stressor. I'm really big in my life about trying to find ways to not have things like that to worry about I mean, everybody knows the feeling of, with your car, if you've got an electric vehicle, like that range anxiety. That's something that a few people have experienced, and everyone knows that same anxiety when it comes to your phone. I don't think we have a universal name for that in society these days, but there's definitely an anxiety around phone batteries. And so this is one way of making sure that your phone, your laptop are going to be able to be plugged in whenever you need it, being able to leverage that fast charging with USB-C so that you don't have to charge it overnight. You don't have to threaten damaging the battery by charging it to 100%. You can, when you need it, plug it in, fast charge it to enough of a percentage to help yourself out. And then from there, you can just be on your way. So I will link these down in the description. I think these are both awesome cables. I'm very happy with the picks. I think both of them ran $20-ish, which you can definitely find cheaper cables. I've gotten cheap iPhone cables over the years, and most of them have been even worse than the Apple ones in terms of fraying and breaking over time. So I'm hoping that these ones will hold up much longer and be much more durable and really make the solution that we're going for to simplify our charging life being one that lasts for a very long time. So hopefully these last until Apple eventually kills the lightning cable. I'm hoping that the lightning cable itself dies before this cable does. That's what I'm hoping for here. So who knows whether that'll ever happen, but yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I think it's a really interesting way to think about the way that you charge your devices and like kind of your charging ecosystem, your charging life. So let me know down in the comments what you guys do for your charging. Is this something that you guys have implemented? Do you just have one charger that you're taking around room to room? I'm kind of curious what other people have for their ideas and for their use cases. So tell me your story down in the comments, and I would love to respond back and let you know what I think of how you do it. So thank you very much for watching. Remember, as always, if you enjoy what you see, the likes are always free and the subs don't cost anything either. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you in the next video. Later.